So, hi everyone. Today we will be discussing about some of the more topics related to whatever we discussed till now, like whatever ID selector, class selectors, or element selectors, whatever we discuss. We will just deep dive into those selectors, how we can combine them, how we can use those selectors to define the proper target proper HTML element, and then style those elements properly. And then we will discuss some about cascade properties, cascade functionality, and specificity. We already discussed about it. I will just tell about what is the flow goes on, or what is the priority, or what is the less specific property or a selector, and which is the highest priority selector. Okay, so first we will start with some of the basics which we uh, taught in HTML also, that whenever we have client and then server, okay, and we ask the server for the files, okay, we ask server for the files which are responsible for the web page. Okay, so server respond us with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files. So, and once we receive those files, then it browser, our client, okay, here in this case browser will start reading, or in proper technical term, parse start parsing those HTML files. Okay, start reading those HTML file, and what it does, it converts, okay, it converts those HTML tags, okay, or HTML elements into document object model. Okay, those HTML elements, we can say, yeah, HTML elements, it convert into DOM, okay, DOM tree. So what is DOM tree? It is a document object model, and it is understood by the browser, so it can structure the UI elements. So whatever the elements, like this menu option, this profile option, or this another options for more styling, okay, so all these are UI elements. So it creates the DOM tree. Okay, so now if I want to show you how it looks like, okay, like, so this is our part of code. Okay, one small part of code I took here. Okay, so this part of code will be converted into document object model. Okay, how it will be converted? So it will be like, first it will be parent. Okay, first it will be parent with OL. Okay, below it, it will be like a tree, it will be created. Okay, then it will have list. So first it will be first list element. Inside this list it will have content. Inside this list it will have content. Okay, so same repeat it will goes on. As we have multiple list element. Okay, so we have three list elements. Okay, so I have created three list elements here. So this is document object model, okay, for this HTML element. So OL, then LI, and then content. OL, LI, content, OL, LI, content. Okay. Under this OL, okay, this for list element, we have again another what we can say OL type. So for this LI, what we can say, it has one more thing, that is OL. So we will put here OL. Okay, for third li it has another child, that is OL. So it is like parent child, parent child, so it is goes on till the last child. So first we start with first tag, that is OL, then for it has all the child elements, that is three list elements, so we put three list elements. Then inside the third child list element we have another more child elements, so it will goes on like this. So like this the DOM tree is created for whole HTML element. Okay, and when what happens when its browser start reading the CSS, okay, it segregate all the CSS rule based on the selector. So whatever CSS we have right now, so this is the CSS we have. So browser will what it will do after once reading all these CSS rules, it will segregate them based on the selectors. Okay, if it is element selectors, whatever all the element selectors will be placed in one classification. It will create one classification for class selectors. So it will just segregate them. Okay, and then according to DOM3, it will apply those styles to these DOM nodes. Okay, so each one thing is we called as DOM node. Okay, so in our case this is list. Okay, so this list selector rule, okay, will be applied to these three DOM nodes. Okay, so this way CSS works. It is the DOM tree is created, and then CSS is segregated based on the selectors. Okay, whatever selectors we have, element, class, ID selectors. Okay, and then those individual selectors, individual rules are applied to each DOM nodes based on the selector we have used or we have written. Okay, so this is the basic layer how the CSS is applied to any DOM or okay in our HTML. Fine. Now there is one thing which I would like to tell you, that consider, okay, we have written this heading class. So I will just run this code. Okay, so this is our code, and then I will check where is we put heading class. Okay, so for first h1 tag we are using this class heading class. Okay, consider I did one mistake with writing the property, so this is not a proper property. So in this scenario, browser will just ignore this property. Okay, it will ignore this property and it will go to next property or next CSS rule. Okay, so it will go to next CSS rule, that will be this one. It will just directly ignore it. So it will not create an issue, it will not create an error and will not show us page like in other scenario when we start with scripting language like JavaScript. If we face any issue, if we face any error, it will just directly show the error on our screen. Okay, and it will not show the output. But now if you see, it just remove that property. Okay, because it doesn't understand this property, so it just ignore it and just go for other styles. Okay, it applied all other styles except the one which we have defined here because it didn't understand. Okay, so point here is that if you apply some new CSS, okay, now technology is always ever evolving. Okay, so new style properties will come, okay, in the next coming years or in next few days or something like that. So if you still use the new property, and if your end user is using some older browser, okay, so he or she, the end user, will not face any issue because in their old browser also, if they found any new property, they will just ignore it because they don't know, they don't have capability or compatibility to use those properties. Okay, while the new browsers like Edge or Chrome, okay, updated browsers will just recognize the new properties introduced newly in like we can say in last 6 months or in coming 6 months, whatever the new properties will come, the new modern browser will recognize it and apply that same style. But if someone is using Internet Explorer or any other old version of Chrome, okay, and if it is not compatible, that property is not compatible with the browser will just ignore that new property. So it is okay if you go with new style properties, it will be easily taken care by browser, means it will just ignore, and other page will look like as it is except the one which you have applied any new property. It will just show at least content without any style or without particular uh, that property. Like in this case it is text decoration underline, so without underline our content is visible. Okay, I will just make it normal now, so underline comes. Okay, Now we will discuss about some other things like selector list. Okay, so what is selector list? So if we have multiple selectors, so okay, yeah. So if you have multiple selectors and they are applying the same property with same value, okay, in those cases you can combine those selectors and create a selector list, okay, and it will reduce our CSS code and it will work as it is, how it was working, okay, like that only it will work. So I will show you. So what we were doing, so there are two things, list organic styling, okay, that is one class, and this is again another selector that is descendant combinator, okay. So we are applying the same style here, font weight bold, okay. Let me use another one. Okay, I will apply this class to here. Okay, so physics, this first list is bold and the sub list is bold, okay, and for that I have written two multiple style sheet, okay, two multiple rules. So instead of writing this same property with same value like this, what we can do, we can just copy the selector, okay, and then put a comma, use it like this. I will comment this part. So what it is, they are working as a individual style rules only, but we have combined them with comma, okay, so it will work as a individual style sheet only, and we are reusing the same code instead of having the different rules and using the lines, okay, of our code. We are just combine them, okay, and create a selector list, okay. So we will see the same result. Yes, physics it's still bold and other sublist is also in bold, okay. So if we say more things, so consider this one also. So if we were having this instead of line, if we are having this same thing, color green, so we could have done like this. So I will copy it, use comma, will comment this. So this one is lime and this is green, so both will become green now, okay. See, both the elements are now green. So we, it is just a type of selector list, okay. This is selector list. You are creating a list of selector that can use same properties, okay, and just reduce your code. Instead of having more rules, you can just create a list of selectors and use those same properties and value here. Fine. Now we will see how we can target the specific elements with class, okay. So targeting specific elements, okay, these elements with class, okay, we can do it directly also, like here I have done this using the class selector. I have targeted this element, okay, but using the element selector and the class we can do the different things, okay. What I'm trying to say here, so we have this thing. What I will do, I will provide one class here, text heading as a class here. We'll apply the same style, okay, class to this h4 also. Okay, so we have another heading with h4 and this is already we have. And now what we can do, we can have two different rules, okay, based on the element, okay. So what I am saying here, I will put h3 dot, okay, no spacing, okay, and use the same style sheet, same class, sorry, and can provide. Okay, so it will be applied to only h3 element with this class. Okay, h3 element with this class. So see, it is having the border with red. I will make it 2 pixels so it will be visible. Okay, so it is having a border top, okay, to the element, to this h3 element. Same class I can use to h4 and give another property. Instead of same property, I can use another values. So here I can give green or green yellow, okay, and see it is having a different color of border, okay, border top with different color. So using the same class but different element, you can have different styling also, okay, and it's not necessary that you will have same thing here again text heading like this. Okay, instead of that you can combine these together, so you can target the specific elements with different style using single class. Okay, so it is like for the same same purpose, you can say. So here this is heading, and I want for heading only I want border top. Okay, so for that border top I will use this text heading to all the h3, okay, all the h1 h2 h3, all any other heading element. Okay, but I will use this elements, okay, h element selector, and combine the css selector to create different properties like this h3 dot text heading, h4 dot text heading, even I can have h2 dot text heading like this with no space. Directly I am applying dot. Okay, the same case is with multiple classes also. You can create the multiple classes. Okay, I will remove this one. So what we can do, I will create one class. So I'm creating the same thing but little bit different way. So I have created one class with name border box where I have given the width. I will provide more 3 pixel, and style I want border as a dash border and not single solid uniform line but dash lines. Okay, I have created one border. Okay, now I will just give this thing here. Fine. Okay, so we have the border, okay, to both the elements with green and with what you can say black. So they are using their own colors. Okay, we haven't given any color to it, to border, so it is taking inherit, it is inheriting the color which is given here. Okay, so now what I will do, I will create some kind of what we can say to create something like warning, danger, success. So different kinds of border I want. For warning, it will be with yellow color. For danger, it will be for in color in red, and for success, it will be in uh, green. Okay, so we all know we have some alert messages, or we have some buttons, or we have some success whatever alert or windows. Okay, so depending on the state of our action, so if we have completed our payment, so we will see what we can say a success message with green. If we have payment failed, we will see a red color cross with red color cross, and if we are having pending status, so it will be like in gray or yellow. Okay, just like a traffic signal. So like that, what I'm trying to do, I will create one heading element with danger message, one with success message, one with pending message. So I will just put some messages there. But what I will do, all the things, okay, this dot warning I'm creating it because I want each you will say, why are you not creating it normal warning, dot warning only. Okay, and why are you applying this border box also? So why? Because what I'm going to do in this warning, I will not, I will just put one property, that is border color. Okay, that is yellow. Okay, like this. If we don't do like this, what I need to do, I need to copy the same thing like this. Then for danger, I need to do same thing, copy the same property and give color as red. For success, we need to do like this. So instead of having the same code which is continuously repeating, we are repetitively using the same property here. Okay, border with 3 pixel border size dash. So we will remove this code. Okay, and use one class. Okay, which will have this common style. So we have created one style, okay, class, sorry, one class which will have common style, okay, and apply this another styles, okay, these classes only when we have this border box, else don't apply this style. So because of that only we are using the this kind of convention here, like this. Okay. Now I need to put these classes again in different places. Warning, success. I have added this class here, and then in below also I will put for danger. So see, we have border with yellow, green and red. Okay, so this is the way we have created the border for different heading element with different purposes. So if we want to show heading for warning thing, okay, so we will have content in yellow also and border with yellow. If we want to show some heading with success message, we can have success border, and if we want to show something failed, we can have red border like this. So with purpose we have created these things. Okay, if someone goes and just directly put danger, okay, so property will not be applied to it. Okay, to work properly it must add this border box also. Okay, and that's why we have created this like this. Okay, understood? So this is kind of targeting elements with combination of multiple classes, in this case two classes, and previous joined. Now we will discuss about presence and value selectors. Okay, presence and value selectors I will put here. So what presence and value selectors work? Okay, we have these elements, okay, all these elements h4 h3p, and we have used them here also as the element selector, single element selector we have like p. Okay, we have like this is normal element selectors. Okay, so along with that P selector, if we want to specifically target particular P element, okay, so we have multiple P elements. Here I have one P element, this is another P element. Or if we have multiple anchor tags, okay, so now I have three anchor tags or three hyperlinks with Google, Amazon and Microsoft. Okay. One having just href, that is where it will redirect, and the last one is having title. Okay. So if I put element selector with a tag, like this, and we'll put some property. I think we already applied some property below here. I will some color. Okay. Okay, so all these anchor tags are showing in aqua color. Let me change it to. So all these anchor tags are showing up in a maroon color. Okay. Now if I want to apply style to the specific tag, okay, if I want to apply style to the specific tag, we have option of class. Okay, I can put something like class and create class rule. Okay, so this is one option we can have. Okay, but another way we can do is that depending on what attribute we have with the tags, okay, we can use this attribute to target the particular anchor tag, okay, or hyperlink. So now I would like to target this particular third anchor tag which is with Microsoft. So what I will put, the one anchor tag which has title as an attribute. So only this one has the attribute title. Other two doesn't have title attribute. So I will put a square brackets title and color maroon. Okay. So see, other two has a different color like blue and purple. This one is showing in purple because I have already visited google .in, okay, google.com. So that's why it is showing that I have already visited this link, so it is showing in purple. This one is a free fresh link, fresh hyperlink, so it is blue, but this one is showing in maroon because again I have already I have given the CSS here, a anchor tag or hyperlink which having title, okay, give that thing as a color maroon. Okay, so this is one way. Another thing what we can do, so now if you want to apply style based, so now if I say we have title here also like Amazon and Google. So now all these anchor tag or hyperlink have title attribute. Now again, or that same style sheet will be applied to the all three hyperlinks. Okay. Now what we will do? Now in this case, we can apply the based on the value also. So what is the value present there? So I can put like title equal to Microsoft. Title equal to Microsoft. And if I save it, again it will be just applied, that style will be applied to the last one. Okay, what are the last anchor tag? Understood? So based on what attribute you have, okay, we can apply the styles with the elements. So this is presence and value selector. Actually this is element selector, but we have added attribute to it. So it is again a attribute selector with whatever the presence it has, okay, whatever value it has. Now it has so many other things also, okay, but I feel that it is not more of a use or more of a importance that we should see. So I will just show you. So in this attribute selector we saw this one, okay, a target or with whatever the value it has, okay, then it has something like different things, like if it is matching at least some of the characters, or if it is matching some value, if it is starting with this, if it is ending with this value. So there are more things here, okay, if it is ending with some value, starting with some value, if it is having a substring of whole thing, okay. So these are the things which I don't feel are very important. Okay, mostly you will use these things only, equal to value and what attribute it has. For a what you can say, for a practice you can go through this, okay, and just have a knowledge of it. Okay, what I will say, just have a understanding that such kind of things available, like what Okay, this one I will just create a copy of this one like this. So these are the important one with attribute selector. Now we will see the next thing is that the pseudo classes and pseudo elements. So we already discussed little bit about them. So these are the ones which I have highlighted here now. Okay, even this one is the pseudo classes. So what is pseudo classes? When you want to apply styling based on the state of that element. Okay, based on the state of that element, we can apply the styling. Okay, so if user hover on that element, then apply this styling. If user have already visited this redirected, visited that link, apply this style. If input is in focus, apply this style. So based on this state, we apply some style. So we have understood these things. So these are called as pseudo classes. Okay. So I will show you the thing again. So we have these pseudo classes. So see, if I hover on it, so it changes the color, which is I given as a aqua. This is already visited, so that's why it is showing in red. Okay, and if I focus on this input element, its background color will change. See, so based on this state, we are changing the CSS. So this is again, these are called as pseudo classes, and how you can create them using colon. So whenever you just put a colon, you will get the list of pseudo classes. Okay, so if I put hover ho, I am getting this hover. Okay, so this is pseudo classes. Now we will discuss about pseudo elements. Okay, so pseudo classes and pseudo elements are two different things. So actually, pseudo elements deal with location where the HTML is available, or if you want to apply add some content again, okay, which is not a advisable way. If you want to add HTML through CSS way, you can do it using pseudo elements. So mostly it is about location, okay, how you can find the child elements, okay, how you can find the child elements, and how you can add the HTML through CSS way. This is the thing here we can discuss, like the one which is here. Okay, we have given bold thing, so I will just remove this bold font weight bold, okay, to understand this concept. So now physics and the sub list are in normal text, okay, and not bold, okay. So now if I want to make it these two things bold, okay, how I can do it? So I can use the pseudo elements, okay, and then can be easily achievable. So the what you can say, the thing which I discussed on one of the session, that if you want to apply CSS to specific thing, like if I want to make this organic chemistry bold and not this inorganic, okay, just only this organic chemistry to be bold, what I need to do, that I need to use this pseudo element. So let me go to that particular place. Okay, now here we have OL and then we have list. Okay, but here also we have OL and list, so we have multiple OL and OL. Okay, inside very we have low more what we can say, deep nesting. We have same kind of structure or pattern. We have OL LI, here also we have OL and LI. Okay, so now what I can do, I need to use first descendant combinator like this. Okay, the one which I have used here also, OLLI, OLLI, okay, like this. But out of these two Li, I want to use first Li only, okay. Out these two are Li element, list element, but I want to use only the first element, first list element. So what I will use? Pseudo elements, double colon. For pseudo elements, we need to use double colon, and then I will use first child. Okay. Okay, I think this one is with, yeah. So some of the older pseudo elements, okay, which are very old, okay. So they are working with single colon, okay, and the newer pseudo elements which are introduced in near like just 5 years ago or something like recently, they need to put it with double colon. So this is one which is older one, so it is working with single colon only. So I will put font weight bold. So you can see the first child is the in bold. If I want to apply CSS as a bold only to this child, what I will put? I will put last child here, like this, and it will apply to this one. Then there is another thing also, nth child, so I can put 1 or 2 if you know the number, okay, if you know the position of it, like that. So this is again pseudo elements. And one more thing we can do it, I will show another example of it. Okay, so here we have this description list, okay, with description heading and the description data. Okay, so what I want to make this first line, okay, of all the description, this part, I want to give the underline to it. Okay, I want to give underline to all the first line of it. So what I can do in this case, first it is DL, okay, and then DD, okay. So this is the parent and this is child, DD, okay, where it is all the description we have. So I will use DL, DD, okay, and I want to apply text decoration underline to the first line only, okay, to this first line. So the first line will change every time for each device type. So right now for me this is the first line, but for mobile devices it will be again a different thing. Okay. So for tablet, line will change. So you don't know how much words it will be there in first line for each different devices. For iPhone 12 Pro, it will be different number of words. For tablet, it will be different number of words, and for desktop or laptop, it will be again a different. Correct? So we don't know. This is variable. How many words it will have on first line. So we don't know these things, okay, or else we could have done what we could have done, we could have created an b tag or u tag and put that specific words here. But what we want to apply underline to first line irrespective of devices. We don't know how much words it will have. So this u tag is of not use, okay, it is no use actually. So for that I will use first line. This is pseudo element. I will use first line and give test decoration underline. I will, so see, it has added underline to only the first line. If I change it to mobile device or tablet also, again it is having the same thing. See, it is having first line as a heading. I will change it to 112 Pro. See, it is having underline to the first line itself. Okay, so there are multiple pseudo elements and multiple pseudo classes. Okay, so again this list is very big and we can't go through each and every place, but the important ones are these one, like hover, visited, click, focus. Then for pseudo elements this is like If you want to target some particular child, you can use nth child, first child, last child. If you know that element is the only child in the parent place, like we can say, if I p tag, so this p tag is the only child of this div tag. So we can apply some another thing like only child also, like this. So child and first line, last line, all those things can be useful. Okay, and I'm not showing those pseudo elements which can uh, change the HTML content. Okay, like we have before and after. Okay, using this you can add HTML through CSS, but this is a very rare case and we should not do it. We should avoid this kind of way. Okay, to add HTML through CSS. Okay, you can go with JavaScript. Okay, you can add HTML through JavaScript way or some other way, but don't do it through CSS way. Okay, so what it will do, it will just add the text, okay, whatever HTML after DD, or if I put before, so it will add the HTML before DD. So like this is DD element, so before that DD element it will add that HTML element, or if this is DD element, if we use after, so it will add after this DD element, like this. Okay, we discuss about cascade rule and specificity. Here in case of specificity, I would like to give you the priority. So priority goes like this: element selector, class selector has more priority than element selector. Then we have ID selector. Then inline CSS has more priority, and then the property which will have important attribute, okay, will have more priority. So here if I say width, 1 second, so this heading class I have applied, let me just comment this part, so just I will take 2 more minutes. Heading class is applied to our h1 tag, and h1 tag by default browser will show it in the bold. Okay, it will show it bold. So if I want to apply something that is not very important, I want to remove that heading to be in bold, what I will do, font weight, okay, it is possible through this way also, lighter. If I just put lighter also, it will work. It removes that boldness. Okay, it removes that boldness. Okay, but some places where there are so many cascading, okay, again this don't go with this important attribute in what we can say, in rare cases, or if you don't have a choice, only in those scenario only go with important attribute. Okay, why people use this important attribute? So when there are multiple CSS, okay, so if you have multiple CSS, applying the CSS to one single element, like this for H1, if you have more classes like class 1, class 2, okay, so we have multiple CSS classes or multiple inline CSS, all those things, and all the properties are conflicting and not able to understand which property is applying. Or if you are using third party CSS, okay, like Bootstrap, Material UI, which are CSS libraries, and if you don't want to use their style and want to use your style, so in this case it is what we can do. If you want to apply your style instead of their style, like third party CSS, you can use this attribute. So it is of higher priority. Okay, so it will just ignore all other CSS property and it will just take this property. So that's why I'm providing this specificity. So element selector is the lowest priority, then class selector, ID selector, inline CSS is the highest priority, and the one coming after important attribute. If you put important attribute to your property, then this is the highest property and always it will be applied. Okay, so to understand you, one more thing what we can do. Yeah, we were discussing about this one. Again, I will have one more color with green. So in this case, it will apply cascade rule. Okay, what cascade rule suggests us? If we have same property of equal specificity, okay, equal priority, then it will apply the latest property, or the property which is coming defined later. Okay, defined later. So this property is defined later. So that's why we are seeing this p tag in green. Okay, this p tag is green, and instead of, it is not showing in gray. This one is different because I think we have applied some different property somewhere else that we can see it later, but just I'm saying this gray we have and green we have, but it is applying cascade rule and showing in green. But if I want to show it in gray, what I will put, I will just put this important attribute, and then it will show in gray. So now it will not use cascade rule. Why? Because we have increased the specificity of this rule. Okay, now they are not of equal specificity. This one has more specificity, so it will apply first. When CSS rule has equal specificity, equal priority, then cascade rule will comes, and whatever property is defined later or latest will apply. Okay, so this is the thing, and in next we will discuss some more topics related to CSS, like what is inheritance, and then box model we will discuss. So please don't skip those tomorrow's session. Thank you guys. Bye.